Today we are going to look at the pressing issue that has continued to cast a shadow over our communities. The menace of cultism in Bayelsa State. Now, in recent times, incidents linked to cult-related activities have raised serious concerns about safety, youth involvement in violent groups, and the overall security of lives and property. Families are worried. Business owners are uneasy. Parents are anxious about the influence of cult networks on young people. The big question remains, how do we confront this challenge decisively and sustainably in Bayelsa State? Recently, the governor of Bayelsa State, Doyediri, issued a strong directive calling for mass arrests of suspected cultists as part of a broader strategy to clamp down on criminal activities linked to cult groups. The directive has sparked conversations across the state. While some citizens applaud the move as bold and necessary, others are asking critical questions about its implementation, long-term impact, and implications for human rights and due process. Is mass arrest the solution? Will it dismantle the networks that sustain cultism? Or does Bayelsa need a deeper social intervention that addresses unemployment, drug abuse, peer pressure, and community breakdown? We are joined this morning by our friend, Mr. Sunny Pere, who will offer insight into the security dimension, social implications, and possible way forward in tackling cultism in our dear state. Mr. Sunny Pere, thanks for joining us on the show this morning.
Yeah, I would say good morning, Bayelsans. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Golden FM. I say bonjour.
Welcome. As always, this is a conversation for all of us. Cultism is not just a law enforcement issue. It is a societal challenge. From homes to schools, from communities to government institutions, everyone has a role to play in restoring peace and protecting the future of our young people. So stay tuned as we critically examine Governor Diri's directive, its impact so far, and what more can be done to ensure that Bayelsa becomes safer for everyone. Of course, you know, it's Let's Talk Nigeria. All right, so before we continue the conversation, let's hear from the governor what he said.
We have been hearing about some cult clashes, particularly at Igbogene area. We need to contain this cultism. We have contained it to a very drastically low level before. But recently, we are now beginning to hear them rearing up their ugly heads. And so I have directed that anybody caught, anybody, and in fact, there should be a mass arrest of any of them that we know, so that we will tame them. We can't continue to have youths who are providing opportunities in several ways and will not take those opportunities and want to continue in crime and criminality. We will not tolerate crime and criminality. Opportunity to call on our dear youths to look at the several opportunities that have been created by this government via sports development, via empowerment programs, via technical colleges, and several others that we will not be able to mention here. And even the projects that are going on in all the construction sites. Any reasonable youth will always get something to be doing.
When I was the governor giving a directive, and before we bring in Mr. Sunny Pere to give us insight of what we are talking about, let's look at some of the major escalation right from 2025. We will have gone down memory lane, but let's start from 2025. On January 9, 2025, there was an Igbogene attack. Armed cultists invaded the Igbogene community and shot dead 3 persons in what police linked to a rivalry between the Bobos and the Greenlanders cults. Since that January, ceasefire attempts came up. Officers from the Bayelsa State Police Command engaged leaders of multiple cult groups, including, Vikings, Bobos, Icelands, and DBAMs, to sign an undertaking to cease violence after clashes that had killed at least 7 people in Yenagua Axis. Still in 2025, April 22nd to April 23rd, 2025, the Swali attack. 4 persons were killed after rival cult groups clashed over control of market revenues in Swale community. That's not all. In May 2025, Heavy shooting in Yanagwa and surrounding areas such as Amarata, Swale, and Fangbe resulted in 4 additional deaths, and 17 suspects were arrested during anti-cult operations by police. And some are asking, where are the 70 people? Are they still in custody or they've been released? We don't know. Still in that May, the governor, suspended a Swale community traditional ruler after more than 25 cult-related killings, and robbery reports emerged in just 1 month, underscoring the deteriorating security situation. In August 2025, communities in Amarata and elsewhere organized mass peace walks, protests against continuous cult violence, demanding stronger action from security agencies and government. Now let's come to 2026, February. Another cult clash in Igbogene left at least 3 people dead, contributing to ongoing tension and concerns over public safety. So we can go on and on. So we look at the estimates of cult-related deaths in Bayelsa by aggregating the confirmed and reported incident from news sources over the last 5 years. Bayelsa has experienced dozens of cult-related clashes, and according to some reportage, the state accounted for around 89 cult-related fatalities, deaths, between 2020 and 2025, demonstrating that while the toll is lower than we have in Rivers and Delta states, the crisis remains acute and violent. It's a very serious matter. So, Sunny Pere, this is a serious matter, and the governor has spoken. How would you assess? What's your reaction, rather? What's your reaction to the governor's directive on mass arrests of suspected cultists? Some say it's just a matter of talk, but what about you? What would you say? Do you agree with people who say it's talk or not just talk?
I'll look at it in different aspects or perspectives, as the case may be. The governor is a father, first and foremost, and he is the father of every good and bad. And the government itself owns these people. He is a custodian of these people. And every indigent individual, the citizenry in the state, is under his watch. And as such, arrest, I say lack of diplomacy, mass arrests. You can only go and arrest somebody when you know them. You didn't see them as suspects, but you say you're going to arrest anybody. So now the question here is, does the government know them? Does the government know these people? Because I don't see any situation whereby government will be patronizing menace or be patronizing vices. These are inimical to the development of society. And as such, you must be very holistic in your approach. Because when you say people killing people, are we at war? What are they dragging? I, for one, I would want to call everybody, if I was the governor. Because if you say you arrest them, what are you arresting them for? These are part of people that the government in recent times even pay them, while the good people who are out there, out of school, no jobs, don't get paid. So are we paying for bad things?
Government pay them. Do you have evidence?
When I say government pay them, they were in, what's it called, in past administration. They were in some sort of incentives, is the amnesty or something. It was announced on the radios.
I mean, you're talking about cultists?
Yes. In this state, ask.
Amnesty?
Yeah, they were given something like that.
You're not sure?
No, I'm sure. I'm in the state. I'm aware. Past government, not this one. Past government. They were called together in different. They gathered somewhere around the government house, and they were given amnesty. Let us live in peace, and we're going to give you people incentives. How can you be paying people that are killing themselves? I said they're in government, in the sense that these are boys politicians use during elections, and when they use them at the end of the day, either they become PAs or they become essays to some politicians. For example, in Amarata, a young police officer was killed, right?
Sometime last year.
And where the Amarata community came together and they said, we don't want all of these, and they said that they want to do an election, you understand? And they did the election. Guess what happened during the election? The people who did the election are people that are in government that sponsored one against the other. And at the end of the day, it is the person who is a cultist that won the election as Amarata youth president. So are you going to tell me that that person being a youth president will curb crime and criminality in Amarata when his opposition is close to him? Won't he use that opportunity to make himself a watchdog over his opposition or his rivalry? That's why I said government need to be very holistic in this approach. Arresting anybody will not benefit the government. Rather, it should be very diplomatic in calling everybody together. Whether he is your PAO, whether he is your SAO, whether whoever that they may be. That look, this is my government. And I wouldn't want you people to come and spoil. Now politics is around the corner. And you may not, it may not be too far that these are political issues that have started grooming. Because how will you? It is too barbaric to even listen that some young men will cut off another young man's head. How is it possible?
Sunny Pere, thank you so much. We want to open the phone lines now. We'll take a lot of calls and then we'll return to react to some of the calls. 0707 747 1522 and 0912 000 1975. We're on Facebook right now, so streaming live. So check us out. 97.5 Golden FM. Watch, drop your comments there, we'll read them. Also on WhatsApp, send a message to WhatsApp 0912 000 1975. Hello and welcome.
Hello.